We live, baby.
Are we?
We live. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Can you talk on the mic?
Testing. 1, 2,
Get closer to it.
3.
Blow into it.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Testing. 1, 2. Okay, I think that's good. Yeah.
Are you sure both mics work? Oh, did you use 2 mics at the same time?
Mhm. I had it. I set it up to that.
Alright, well, start talking about something, host.
I was waiting for views, but I bet. So, welcome to season 2 of the Theorists. We are back. It's been so long since I've done this podcast. So, a lot of people are curious why I brought it back and how I brought it back. So, let me tell you. It all started with this man's brother, Ross. You see, Ross was giving me a big hard time about not giving him his podcast. So what did I do? Matthew, what did I do?
You said you were going to give him a podcast.
I said I was going to give him a podcast. So I went out of my way. I bought new equipment, new stuff, and now we got a new set. So a lot of people are probably wondering why he's here then. You would think Ross would be here. Well, you see, the reason I wanted to start this new season with Matthew is because this is actually not even my set. This is Matt's set. You want to talk about how this came to be?
Oh, yeah, he just asked me, could I use your room for podcast? And I was like, alright, go ahead.
You know the camera's over there, right?
Oh, shit. I was looking at you.
It's all good.
He said, can we use your room for a podcast? And I was like, yeah, go ahead. So now we're here. It's not really that big of a story.
It's not. It's really not. But the reason why I wanted to use his room for my podcast is because, bro, look at this place. It's a vibe. It's a vibe compared to mine. Mine is like a freaking man cave. So
Yeah,
that's
it's
why.
really okay.
Anyways, so with that being said, now we're here today. So, Matthew, let's talk a little bit about life, shall we?
Yeah.
How's life going for you right now? What's your career looking like? Tell us about your agenda nowadays, going forward.
Well, you said tell me about your career first. So, I mean,
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
I work at Walmart, so not really much for career. But as far as my agenda goes, you know, every day I wake up 9 a.m. at the latest, 7 latest, you know, eat breakfast and all that. I take a shit. I don't know if you was going to hear that. But, you know, then I do my schoolwork for like 2 to 3 hours, and then I might go to the gym with Art or Arthur. After that, I'll come home, and I'll just chill for the rest of the day. Basically, just school every day, gym, and chill. And then if I have work, then I'll work, and then do all the other things after work.
Now, here's the thing. You've talked a lot about time management improvement for this year going forward. What inspired that?
No, man, I didn't even think about that. I guess I just didn't want to waste time no more, you feel me? Because it's like, I'm just trying to get stuff done.
No, and before, rest in peace to GOAT, Kobe passed, you know. That was his whole thing.
Yeah, that's true. Kobe was all about working hard. Kobe's one of the goats. Obviously, I take inspiration from guys like him, but I feel like everybody does. But as far as time management goes, I just really don't want to look back a year from now and be like, I didn't spend my time wisely. I want to look back a year from now and be like, I accomplished a lot. You feel me?
That's true, that's
also,
true.
am I supposed to look at the camera when I talk or look at you when I talk?
Either one.
Okay.
It's not that deep. It's a podcast. They do either one. So, you have really good time management now. You have your responsibilities in check. Here's my question. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
5 years? Man.
Or at least hopefully.
See, I don't know. I mean, I've always been a kind of like, I failed history because I was worried about my future kind of guy. So like, that was a joke. You didn't laugh, but okay, whatever. You're laughing.
No, that made me laugh.
Right. I guess 5 years from now, I want to have a decent amount of money saved up, you know. Obviously a car, obviously my own place, Obviously, I want to have a degree by then, at least a bachelor's. I don't know in what yet. I'm still deciding on what I want my major to be. So like right now, I'm just taking general ed classes. So, but I want to have a degree. You know, I want to have a good amount of money saved up, and I want to I don't have to live on my own necessarily, but like obviously not under my parents' roof. I feel like 5 years from now, I'll be 23. I feel like I should be somewhere else at that point. You know. So whether I have roommates or whether I'm alone, as long as I have a car, I got a good paying job, I have a degree, I think I'll be alright. So that's where I see myself, just having certain things under my belt and accomplish.
Do you want to be married in 5 years from now?
No, well, that's a very, I don't know.
You know what? You're right. You're right.
That's
one of those questions where it's like, if it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
So you're not wrong about that.
Preferably no. Like I don't want to be married at 23, but if I met the right person, or for all I know, I already have met the right person. I don't know. But if I end up liking someone like that, then okay, yeah, sure. But like,
oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
But I don't want to like. That's not a goal, but it's like it's one of those things. It just kind of happens,
I get you. No, but that's good. That's good that you got that like open mind. You're not going into anything stubborn, Like you're open to this, but this is your focus. That wasn't confusing, was it?
You mean like open to the podcast or open to say?
No, I meant life. Like for example, you said how like.
No, I know what you mean.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure. So, another thing I wanted to talk to you about is your interest lately. We've made a lot of videos recently. We just dropped another one. Check it out. Average Jeaustin on YouTube. I was pointing at this, but the camera's over here. I'm sorry. This light is on for my camera on my laptop, but that's the camera over there. So, it's force of habit. He's looking at the screen too, so it's not just me. But, so the past few Chicken Wars videos, I don't know if you knew this. You don't really look at my analytics like I do, but they've actually been doing pretty good. Compared to my last few videos, the viewership has spiked a little bit. And actually, the KFC versus McDonald's, I got 40% new viewers.
That's actually good.
So, like, the consistency, I'm loving it. And actually, another one is coming. We're finishing round 1 today. After this podcast, we getting out there and we continuing the grind. Anyways.
You had a question you were going to ask. That's why I was kind of waiting. Well, you had said your interest.
Oh, yeah. Would you ever take onto content creating on your own instead of just guest appearing? That was my question.
I guest appeared because if my friend is doing something, right, why not do it with him? So, like, if I got a friend that makes music, for example, and that motherfucker's like, oh, I didn't mean to cuss again.
No, you're good. You're good. Just don't say anything like the S word.
Okay, so like which S word?
SIMP.
Okay, so like if I got someone who makes music, for example, and they're like, yo, I want you to be in a music video. I may not want to do it, but because that's different. Like a music video is different, but it's like I may not want to do it. I might think it might be a little weird, but if a friend asks me or a brother asks me, of course I'm gonna be there for him. You feel me? Of course I'll help you. Like if I have a friend or someone who's starting a business or trying to do something, whether it's for fun or whether they see it as a vision, and they ask me to help them out with it, of course I'm gonna help. Now for the food reviews, I love those because obviously I've known you since I was in 6th grade, you were in 7th grade, you're the fucking homie, and
that's right.
Plus we're eating food and reviewing it. It's like that's fun. Like
it really is fun. I wasn't big on food reviewing. I didn't want to do that many when I was doing YouTube when I first returned in 2020, but after reviewing like Beast Burger, reviewing Dave's, I began to really enjoy food reviewing. Now, don't get me wrong, my channel is not a food review channel. I've just been making a lot of food videos because they're so easy to make. Eat food to tell them what you think about it. It's like not that difficult. But they have been really, really fun.
Yeah, but so as for content creating though, I don't know. Like I enjoy helping people because it's fun. It's like I look at it like this. Since I've graduated high school, I've completed the main story, and now I'm just doing side quests. You feel me? So it's like, well, college is the main story right now. You feel me? But work is like a side quest, and like doing stuff like that is side quest. You feel me? So like, I don't mean to say it's like a video game, but it's dead ass like a video game. Like every time I complete a side quest, I'm getting more XP and shit.
No, and you know what's funny? Here's the thing with Matthew. He likes to make a lot of video game references, but the thing is, they work so well. Like when he says the main part of the story, the side quest, like it fits so well actually. Like it's low key changed my mentality a little bit.
That's just how it is. Like I'm not gonna cap. It's like it is a open world RPG game. Like if we're keeping it real, except obviously if you die, you don't respond. But yeah, I don't know if I would content create though. I've thought about it, but I feel like I'd have to genuinely want to do it. I might like I got games on my PC, which is not a gaming PC before anyone says anything. Like I take showers.
How much RAM you got?
But I might Twitch stream for fun. Like I might start doing that. Like 'cause when I play, just hop on and stream it, just 'cause like whatever. But as far as content creating, I haven't really thought about it. Maybe I would, but maybe I would if I hop on other people's, like I'm on his thing right now. If like I start doing that enough to where I start to enjoy it like on a passionate level, I might try it, but I don't know if I would. It's not like a goal for me, but it's not something I'm not ruling out as a possibility.
It's like a hobby you could take up.
Yeah. I'm always open to taking new hobbies and whatnot.
Would you be down to do it during the summertime?
Summer, yeah, I'd be down to do that because I have a lot of free time and I wouldn't have school. I wouldn't be working as much. I work part time anyway, and I feel it. So it's like
Yeah, I feel you. I was gonna ask you something about that actually. Crap, what was gonna be the question? Oh yeah. So, we're both quarantine graduates. I graduated 2020. You graduated 2021. I know, weird shift in topics from content creating to quarantine. Just trying to keep things fresh. Don't want to let it dry out. You know how it be. Anyways, so with that being said, how was your senior year? What would you change? What would you keep?
What would I keep?
I know it's a hard question.
I keep everything before COVID because like I feel like for example like.
But your senior year, you didn't have anything.
Well, no, I mean I said before COVID. I keep everything before COVID, right?
Okay, I see. You're altering your history.
Like, I didn't complete that part of high school. High school completed me, like on some real shit. Like I don't know.
That's deep. That's deep.
Exactly. It completed me, so it's like, and that's just what it means. So, if I could change anything, I guess no COVID. I mean, I won't lie though. COVID at the end of 2020 was kind of nice. Like not September, but October, November, and December were good for me. Like those weren't bad months by any means. Like I guess if I could change anything, maybe I'd have it so like we went back to school in November 2020 or January 2021 and we started the second semester. But I know that sounds selfish saying that because it's like, well, why not just erase COVID entirely? Because all the people that die from it don't die. But like forget about that part. But like
you're trying to keep it in your fraction of time. That's completely normal.
Yeah. So like basically what I would do is or what I would want different, I guess, is the pandemic ends at some point. I feel like that would have been cooler. I feel like I needed that time inside. The first, like for 2020 as a whole, like even before COVID, January, February, March were good. October, November, and December were good, but that's 6 months in the middle where we're like, it was alright, I guess, but it wasn't really too good. So I guess I would have, if I could change anything, I would just have the pandemic end in November, latest January, so then I could have enjoyed certain activities and kind of had that closure to high school. Because your last year of high school is your transition from your teenage years to your early adult life in college, right? Just like your last year of college is your transition from, being a college kid into like, okay, you're gonna be a full-time worker now, you feel me? Like, no more games, none of that. Like, you're in the stage of your life where you're working.
And if I'm being honest, it's scary.
Yeah, I mean it is, because you don't know what's next. That's another thing too. When you when you finish 9th grade, you know what's next. 10th grade, when you finish 10th grade, you know what's next. 11th grade, but
speaking of that, sorry to interrupt you. I actually wanted to ask you since you mentioned that. I don't know if it was just me or if you can relate. When I entered 9th grade, I was panicking. Not because it's high school, but because you can't fail anymore, bro. You fail, you don't graduate.
Oh yeah. Well, see, for me though, I never struggle with failing. Like people probably have that misconception about me that because I joke around in class a lot, I might have bad grades. But in middle school, I never had lower than a C, and in high school, I only had like 2 D's throughout all my years, and those were during COVID. So it's like
And you
no,
fixed.
it was three. It was three.
Oh wait, they were
I
during
fixed, like,
COVID.
one.
They changed them.
Yeah,
Never
it was
mind.
during COVID. Nah, but I had like 3 during COVID. But like before that, I never had any D's. So like I never had to really worry about that. So I wasn't worried about that. I guess if anything, at first I was low key worried about what am I gonna do after high school. But then I started living in the moment. You feel me?
That's true. That's true. Like your life is like now you're realizing, oh my God, I'm actually gonna be done with school in a matter of years.
Yeah.
That is very true.
But then at some point, like when I got to like the second semester of ninth grade, I was realizing, I don't care about that. I'm gonna just live in the moment. So like, some people might ask me, oh, how come you ain't thought about your I've thought about a lot of things. Like I've thought about what I just genuinely don't know what I want to do yet. So it's like I got to a point in high school where I was like, I'm not gonna think too hard about what I want to do. I'm gonna just let it come to me. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let it be like an epiphany, if you will. You feel me?
No, that's
So,
good.
Yeah.
So, what would you consider your senior year? Good, bad, awful, great?
If we're talking about the first semester, average, because while it sucked that we were inside, I won't lie. November and December, I just totally clutched up my grades because before Thanksgiving break, I was failing like every class except PE. But who fails PE?
Exactly.
Even if it's on
What
Zoom.
did they even do? What did they even
Tom
make
would
you
like
do?
have the camera on and he'd be like working out. Nobody would be doing it. Like maybe 1 or 2 people would actually have their cameras on working out. Everybody else was just chilling. So like, but I was failing like 5 of my classes. But Thanksgiving break started, and I just started grinding. So I got all my grades up. I ended up having like 1A, 2 B's, and 2 C's. I only had 5 classes my senior year.
That's still good though.
Yes, that's not
That's
bad at
really
all.
good.
So, I clutched up basically, and then on top of that, that whole first semester, obviously you, Cyrus, and a couple of the boys came over often, and then so we'd hang out, play basketball, work out, do whatever, and then I'd be gaming a lot, and then watching sports during COVID was low-key a vibe too. Football, the NBA bubble, baseball.
Oh, the bubble.
The Major League Baseball, they had a bubble in Texas, so watching sports and all that was also a vibe. College football was also a vibe too, and March Madness during COVID was insane, but that's 2021. But I guess the first semester, if I had to, out of 10, I'd give it like a 5.5, a 6. 6 at best. It can't get higher than a 6. And if we're not talking about, like, if we're just going to, like, discount COVID, it's like an 8. But when you take COVID into account, it lowers how good it was. Now, for the second semester, I felt like it was kind of like, oh, we've been in quarantine for so long, it's tiring at this point. It's like, it's not really, you know what I mean? It got old, you feel me? So the second semester was mediocre, except I will say though at the end, we had grad night. We did not have grad night, my fault. We had prom, and then we had a graduation. So I guess that was pretty cool.
What was the thing they offered for your grad night? Because you guys couldn't do it.
They were like, gonna have a lunch or something at the school, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody went.
Yeah, so basically, we're not going to share any information about like where we went for school or anything crazy like that, just for, private reasons. Also because we don't want to bash on anyone. But for their grad night, I say theirs, not mine specifically, because I'm a year above him, and that wasn't even an option. We didn't get no grad night option. But for theirs, they couldn't go to, what was it, Universal or Disneyland?
Universal.
They couldn't go to
Maybe
Universal.
It was Disneyland, but I thought it was Universal.
It was meant to be Disneyland, but I think they changed it.
Oh, okay.
So they said they couldn't go to Universal, so they Ross said the dirty bubble. They.
How is he doing isn't he in school right now?
I think so.
Motherfucker, pay attention in class.
But they said that they couldn't go. So to accommodate, they were saying that they were gonna go to the school field and have a picnic, and nobody wanted that, so nobody even went. But it was weird that they said they couldn't because my friend who goes to a completely different school, they went. So it was kind of confusing as to why they couldn't go. It was probably money or something like that, if I'm being honest. It couldn't have been COVID.
For
There were
y'all.
other schools. For you guys.
Nah, they said it was COVID, but like other schools went. So
Exactly.
I don't know who was up with that.
It could have been also LAUSD regulations or something. Also, sorry about dog barking in the background. I'm kind of considered an intruder to some of the dogs, so they don't like me very much. That's not all of them, though. So I apologize about the barking. But, yeah, it wasn't the best grad night for them, so a lot of them just chose
Wasn't
to
the
skip
best.
it.
There was no grad night. Like
It wasn't the best grad night option, I meant to say.
Yeah.
But
Um,
but would you say your prom
yeah, our prom was
delivered?
fun. It was thrown together last minute. So for something that happened last minute, it was fun. You know, everybody went, except like literally two people didn't go, which I wish they had went, but I don't remember off the top of my head. I know someone didn't show up, but
They actually invited our class to go to it as well.
yeah, they invited their class as well. One of the guys went. Jared went, but none of the guys from their class
We're
went.
throwing names.
And like half of the girls from their class went. But pretty much my whole class was there. It was fun. We got to see everybody. Obviously, unless it was your specific friend group, you didn't really get to talk with someone a lot. But everybody got to kind of say what's up, dap each other up or hug or whatever. You know, because it had been a minute.
Let's talk about the homies drip though from that prom.
Oh, you know, it wasn't nothing crazy. I just threw something together. I had a white turtleneck. I had a chain. It's not a real chain either. It's a fake chain, but you know.
Oh, is the one you're wearing right now?
Yeah, it's not a real chain, but you know.
It's clean though.
Former NFL player Chad Ochocinco, he don't buy real chains and he's rich. It don't matter. I just needed it for the look, and I'm not rich, so I couldn't buy a real one. When I'm rich, I will buy a real one, but I don't got the money to spend on jewelry, and I'm not gonna wear that often, you know.
That's
So
facts.
like,
I respect that.
yeah, so like I had a turtleneck, I had a blue suit. I have a picture, but like,
You can get it if you want.
well, yeah, but it's like on my phone, so like, how would I show the camera that? Alright.
I mean, why not, bro? We're 21 minutes in, bro. We got all the time in the world.
21 minutes in? Only felt like it's been 10.
Oh, really? I thought you were gonna say it's been going by slow.
I've been going by pretty fast.
Let's look at the homies drip real quick.
It was nothing too crazy. I just had
Sheesh.
turtleneck, and that was back when I used to have dreadlocks.
Damn. The lighting doesn't let you see like the white turtleneck or the forces that much, but yeah, he was wearing a turtleneck and then forces underneath.
Yeah. And I washed and conditioned my dreads and everything, and like I had them.
Oh yeah, he got a little fade right here that everyone made fun of him for.
It wasn't a fade, and you were the only. You and Chad, both two people who don't know nothing about haircuts. Like, yeah, y'all coming. I'm not gonna get into that. It's not a roast session, but. I got a lineup in a taper, and they were like, "Oh, why'd you get a lineup in a taper? It's not like anybody notices that." And it's like, whatever. But you know.
No, we were saying that because he had huge dreads, and he didn't want to cut them. And then by that time, he did that little thing, and everyone was like, "What kind of haircut was that?" We were expecting big changes.
A taper. Like you could notice it. Like, see, I noticed it because it's my hair. They didn't notice it. But it's like this morning. You was like, you didn't notice that I had bed hair when I got out of bed.
Oh.
It's like nobody know. But like I had a good lineup, so that was cool. But yeah, so the prom delivered. I'd say, you know, everybody got to see each other. Nobody took a date, but you know, understandably so.
Wait, nobody? Like not a single person.
Not a single person came with a date.
What?
Not
I thought there was at least one. Like I can't think of any names. Not
date.
that I would say them, but
No dates. Just nah. Well, I mean, to be fair, if you're not really talking with people like that for an entire year, it's kind of hard to ask someone. You know, it's like
that's true.
if you have a whole year to go to school and make a connection with somebody that you're already kind of close with or kind of friends with, and kind of talk to them, you can go up and be like, "Yo, you want to go to prom with me?" Obviously, you wouldn't ask the way I just asked, but you know, you could do that.
Some people have done that though.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, you could ask, and you probably have a higher chance of success. Whereas if you haven't talked to someone in like 9 months, 12 months, 6 months, whatever, it's probably not gonna work. So nobody took a date. But, you know, pretty much everyone came, everybody was dripped out, everybody looked clean, you know. So it was pretty cool to see everybody one last time, well, second to last time. Then there was the graduation, which, that was pretty cool, but, you know, they kind of rushed you out after, so, like.
Oh, yeah. What did that consist of? Because I actually never knew how your graduation went down.
You know, everybody walked in, sit down, speech.
By your principal?
Yeah, speech by the principal, a couple other people. Then we had our valedictorians, we had 2 of them, they both spoke. Then after that, everybody walked up on stage, got the diploma, took a picture, got up the stage, went back down. They played a song of your choice when you walked up. I told Rick what song I wanted, but you know.
Oh no.
His words. I messaged him on Schoology, the song I wanted, and I sent him an email. And he said, "I'm not a schoolologist," as his excuse for not getting the song right.
But you emailed him.
Yeah, I emailed him too. Whatever. I don't really care anymore, but it was like, I cared for like 5 minutes when it happened. Then I ain't really care.
So was the song that played a generic song or?
It was like some Biggie song. I feel like I should know it. Everybody knows Biggie. It was one where it's like Biggie, 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 can't you see? I don't.
Oh
Know
wait, I
that
think
one.
I heard that song. Yeah.
But it was that. Oh no, maybe no, it wasn't that one. It wasn't that one actually. No, it wasn't that one. It was a different one. They
Dude.
sound the same though. I don't listen to Biggie, so like I can't sit here and like I'm not gonna act like I do.
No, that's fair.
But
That's fair.
yeah, I forget what song I wanted. I think I wanted.
For mine, I said I wanted Hall of Fame, which I regret picking. I chose that because that was our 8th grade culmination song, so I wanted to continue the tradition. Exactly. But I low-key regret it. I kind of wanted to go with Man of the Year by Juice WRLD. But I feel like that song's a little dark, so they probably would have not let me use it.
I wanted to do Graduation by Juice WRLD, but in my head I was like, somebody else is going to do that. And somebody else actually did do that. So
Did they?
Yeah, so I'm glad I didn't because I wouldn't have wanted to come to graduation day and it's like I got the same song as someone else.
Especially if they go before you. That just makes you look bad.
They didn't go before. Well, they go before me actually. They went like a couple people before me.
Ooh.
So it's good I didn't choose that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like Rick would have saw and put shows anyways. No hate to Rick. But I picked, what's that song?
Could you imagine he watches this podcast and he's like, alright, Matthew, I see how it
That'd
is.
be funny. I do not remember the name of the song. It was some shit by Jack Harlow though. It wasn't What's Poppin'. I don't like that song like that. Like it was fire when it came out, but we'll see.
He's about to look for it. He's determined
Yeah,
now.
because it's on the tip of my tongue, but I don't know.
Were your goodbyes emotional?
Well, yeah, it was Tyler Harrell. Were my goodbyes emotional? No, I was happy to see everybody. I was very happy in the moment. I wasn't like, I didn't feel sad or nothing until after.
Because you already weren't seeing them. That's true.
Yeah, so I didn't feel sad or nothing until after the fact. Because it didn't really set in. But I wanted to play Tyler Harrell by Jack Harlow. Looking back, I'm kind of glad I didn't pick that song. Well, I did pick it, but I'm kind of glad it didn't get played. Because it's like I could have chosen a better song. But in the moment, I was rushing trying to find a song. And I thought this song's kind of fire. And I liked the melody. So I was like, I'll pick that song. But he never played it. But so it didn't matter. There were a couple people actually who they had submitted a song that wasn't played. So a lot of people had the same Biggie song, or like the same old school song. Yeah, like if you go back on the school's Instagram, and you could watch the live. Like I want to say, like our class is 38 kids. Like 10 to 15 of the kids submitted a song, and it wasn't the right song, and it was just a generic 90s or 80s song played in place of it.
Dude, that sucks.
Yeah, it was weird 'cause when I was walking up on the stage, I heard that song. I'm like, this ain't my song, but I was like, it don't matter. Like nothing I can do. What am I gonna do? Tell them to switch the song mid graduation, you know? So it wasn't that deep. But
You do a dramatic walk?
no, I just walked, got my diploma,
Damn.
smiled, took a picture.
Should have done
Walked
something. You should have done something like Matthew, you know? Like,
You know, if I, cause you know the gritty that Jamar Chase says,
Mhm.
that's been a thing for like 2 years now. So looking back, if I had learned how to do it, I would have gritted. I don't care.
that's
I would
true.
have gritted up on stage, but I didn't think about that in the moment. Obviously, you know, in hindsight, you think of all the things you could have said or done, but you didn't do it. So.
No, that's facts. I actually was thinking about that. So like when we had a drive-through graduation. So for us, we didn't actually get a graduation. We got a drive-through graduation because our graduation was technically a virtual one, which was not that good if I'm being honest. It was a slideshow.
Oh.
I was pretty upset. It was literally a slideshow. But and then student council didn't get featured. That sucked. I basically won VP for nothing. But anyways, because I like recognition. But basically, so for our drive-through graduation, we were just driving through and everybody was like saying, "Congratulations, you did it!" Blah blah blah. Everyone was clapping, happiness, whatever. And I was so insecure at the fact that I wasn't wearing a mask in the car because my parents thought, well, since you're in the car, why would you have to put on a mask while you're in there? But since it was so early in quarantine, because quarantine literally started on March and this was on June of the same year, it was so early to me. I was not going out that much. So I'm like, shouldn't I have a mask no matter what? And I just felt so weird, so I was just waving at everybody. But low key, like now I'm thinking about it, I should have had like the Jeaustin confidence I always have, and I should have been out there. That's right, people, give me my acknowledgement. I did it, but I didn't do it. So I was like, damn, what a missed opportunity. But yeah, it was a pretty good time, if I'm being honest. And at least you got a traditional one, despite the circumstances.
But at the end of it, when everybody walked out, they kind of got everybody out, so it's like there wasn't time for like, you know, normally you graduate, even you're gonna talk to people you're not even friends with, you know, you're gonna at least say, you know, congrats and goodbye, you feel me?
Yeah.
But like obviously we didn't get that at all. So like I took a picture with a couple of my friends, but then we had to get out. I took a picture with like 7 people, but then I had to leave.
You know how many people I took a picture with?
How many?
None.
Oh, no. Okay, well.
Because my stepdad at the time was rushing because it was his daughter's graduation too. That kind of cost me to not be able to take pics with any homies. So I took a friend group picture and that's it. I left. And it was.
You said none. You said one technically.
That doesn't count because it was like a group picture.
Yeah, well,
not
one of
like
my pictures, all of my pictures were group pictures.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, well, except one. One picture was a single picture, but like I had like 2 group pictures. But it's like.
Oh, so that's why you said 7 people. You were totaling it.
Yeah, I was totaling.
Okay, then never mind. Then I took a picture with like 8 people. About.
One group was 4, one group was 3, and one was 1. So it's, yes. Oh, 8 people. My bad. That's my fault. Bad math. But yeah. You know, you didn't get to talk to everybody. You know, obviously there's people you don't even talk to. There's teachers you don't like. But I still would have like if it was normal, I would have told them like or saw them and said what's up. You feel me? But you know, they kind of were trying to get everybody out, which I feel like at this point it's the last day of the school year.
And it was 2021. Like it was already kind of fading out.
Plus we had vaccines and everything. Not everybody was vaccinated. Like, I'm not, but I don't care if you are or not. But my point is like I feel like it shouldn't have mattered because it's like it's the last day of the school year. It's the last day all these people are gonna be here. So let's just say someone does catch COVID. Well, they're not coming back here. You feel me? So it's like it really wasn't that deep. They should have let everybody like converse. Because like in 9th grade for me and in 10th grade for me. I came and I had helped. You were there, actually. Remember we helped set up for the previous graduation?
For 2019?
For 2018 and 2019.
I wasn't there for that. I was there for 2018, not for 2019.
You were, because remember you guys took the pictures or whatever in the little photo booth?
Yeah. I was there for during the school day, but people stayed to help prep.
You didn't stay.
I didn't stay.
Yeah, I forgot about that, but a bunch of people stayed. So like I helped with, I was there for, 2018 was because, long story short, I brought a little Naruto kunai knife to class. It wasn't a real knife; it was plastic.
Isn't it that one over there?
No, that's a metal one. That's different. This one got taken away by Clark, and he never gave it back. But,
wow.
And then I bought a Ninja Turtle, the thing that Raphael uses, the little sai, and I gave that to Art, and we were ninja battling in class and shit. And Jamie saw, and he saw the knife, and it looked real, so he took it and he gave it to Clark. And so I got a call home. My mom was pissed, and she was like, "You're gonna give me that when I get home, and I'm gonna throw it away." Right, but never got to her anyways because Clark took it, and so basically, I guess they could have, according to Clark, they could have kicked me out of school for having that, even though it was plastic. I didn't know that could get you kicked out of school.
I didn't either.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess it was pretty sharp because actually, you can ask Chad. Maybe you'll ask him about it if he ever comes on here. I took it and I cut an apple with it. It wasn't a clean cut, but it was nice. I liked it. It was a pretty solid thing. It was
You
a pretty
saying
solid
cutting the apple reminds me of that sword thing you did.
Oh, with the lemon, yeah. I would bring the story, but it's too far. I don't feel like sending it together.
You can tell the story though.
Yeah, but I ain't finished this story, so it's like.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Finish that story. Okay. Sorry.
So basically, Clark was like, I could have had you suspended or expelled if I wanted to. You technically brought a weapon to school, and blah blah blah. And so I was like, and he was like, but how about this? I won't suspend you. You'll do community service. So it's like in the days leading up to graduation. This was
Make
class
you do
of 2018.
community service?
Yeah. So basically, I had to help set up for.
And they say school is in prison. What the heck?
But I had to help set up for the class of 2018's graduation. And then it's funny too because Art, I guess I don't know if he felt bad or what, but he ended up pulling up when I was parking monitor for the graduation. So I had like a vest on and everything.
Oh, you told me about that. Yeah.
Word to Walmart too. It was for shadowing because I wear a vest at Walmart. But like I was wearing the vest and I was helping with parking. Art pulled up and he just chilled with me and helped me, and then we went and watched the graduation. So that was pretty cool. And you were there too. Yeah, because you and your mom gave me and Chad a ride home.
Was it that day?
Yeah, it was that day.
Did my dog bite Chad?
Yeah.
It was that day?
His dog doesn't like Chad. Yeah. So,
what?
Yeah, you gave me a ride home because I told my mom I needed to do community service, and then you told our mom because she came to pick us up earlier, like 12, but she brought us back to school, and you had told my mom that I can ask my mom to give you guys a ride home. I don't know if you remember that, but
I don't remember how we came around to getting you guys though, because I thought I went home.
Yeah, we went. No, but you guys dropped us off first. We went to our house. He dropped us off. His dog was barking at Chad the whole car ride. His dog really doesn't like Chad at all.
She does not like Chad.
And
it's funny because she liked him and Ross.
Yeah.
So it was just weird.
Ross wasn't there that day though, but he was there for he's met your dog before.
Yeah.
But Yeah, so it was pretty fun. A couple of his classmates were there. Art was the only one of my classmates that showed up to help with the thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No one else?
No, but I mean, no one else was involved. I don't know if Art did it because he felt bad. It wasn't his fault. I shouldn't have brought it, but or maybe he was.
I think he felt bad, Loki.
I don't know, maybe. Or maybe, he just, pulled up because he thought it would be fun. We also saw Jake Dickerman, I remember the teacher.
Oh, yeah.
He pulled up to see the graduation, and when I saw, Art has that video on his snap, when I saw Jake, I started spazzing because Jake had a baby and everything. It was pretty funny.
Did he really?
Yeah, it was cool.
Oh, shit.
But, so that was pretty fun, but anyways, so fast forward a year later, in 10th grade, I asked Clark if I could have the knife back. This is at the end of 10th grade.
Oh, so
And
you
he's
tried
like,
to get it back?
Yeah, and he's like, wow, you should have asked me 2 weeks ago. He threw it away 2 weeks ago. After a year, he threw it away 2 weeks before I asked. A year later.
Here's my thing. Why are you throwing away someone's private property?
Well, I don't know. But I guess it was like $10 though, so I don't really care.
Okay.
At the time, I cared a little bit. I was a little sad about it, but I didn't really care. Why did I start telling the story about the whole 9th grade? Oh yeah. So my point was, my point in talking about the graduations though was that so I had seen how graduation should be from the 2018 one and the 2019 one, so I kind of had an expectation. And I guess ours didn't meet it as far as afterwards. Everybody stayed, all the people that graduated, the parents and all that. Everybody was there for like an hour after it ended. It ended at like, 6:30? And we didn't leave school. We left school when it wasn't dark, but it was close to where it was getting dark.
It's like really, really dark blue skies.
Yeah. So like, from what I had seen that the class of 2018 had and the class of 2019 had, they had, for the actual graduation afterwards, they had cake for everybody. Everybody went and they ate and they talked and stood around. Everybody was standing around having fun for like an hour, and rightfully so, if it's the last day of school, which that was the last day of school. Or was it the Thursday before the last day? I can't remember. I feel like it was the last day of school.
I think it was the Thursday before. They didn't do the last day of school graduation until I think our year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they did it for ours too. I feel like, first of all, graduation should be the Thursday before. They did it last day of school for us, but I feel like it should be the Thursday before so you can come back and have that last day of actual school. Because, like, if you go to school on the day of your graduation and that's the last day, I would feel nervous, you know what I mean? Because, it's a big day, you feel me?
You're not wrong.
So
You're actually not wrong.
And then you got to go home right away, and then,
But then again, I feel like with a graduation, it's like your big send-off.
Yeah, I guess, but like in 8th grade, we had it the day before, and that was sick. And then in elementary
That's true.
school,
In 8th grade, we had ours the day before.
and then
You're right.
For me in elementary school, in 5th grade, we also had it on the Thursday before the Friday. And I like it better that way, because it's like your send-off, but then you have one more day to come back and, enjoy your school. You feel me? Or enjoy your classmates or whatever. But like, as far as, from what I experienced at the previous 2 graduations I went to, you had a whole hour just about, I'd say, maybe a little more, to like, talk with teachers you may have like, talk with your family, other people's families, your classmates, etc. You feel me? So I kind of had an expectation for it, so that was kind of lame because it's like I would have preferred to take pictures with everybody because it's cool to like look back. Like I don't even talk with everybody to this day. I only talk like maybe. I'm counting, but like I don't even use my fingers to count. I can count without my fingers, just to clarify. But,
all right, we believe you, bro.
I maybe talk to like less than 10 people, more than 7, less than 10 people from my class, like consistently. You feel me?
Yeah, like your inner circle.
Yeah. So like, but I would have preferred to like get pictures with everybody. You feel me? And like I know some people might say, oh well, if you were really close with someone from your class, you guys were just friends, but you weren't like out of school friends. Why does it matter? But to me, it matters. You feel me? Like at least it's like. When I was little and I played on sports teams, I love taking those team pictures and shit, you feel me? Even if I don't talk to all my teammates from when I played football or when I ran track, but it's like it's cool to have that team picture, look back like, oh, I remember him, I remember her, or whatever.
I heard he was the bench warmer for half his teams.
What? Why you out here lying?
I was just kidding.
I started in basketball and I wasn't even good at basketball. I started in football.
You were good at basketball.
No. I'm better now. I wasn't that good at basketball. I was good at defense, but like in the actual game, like when I get in the game, I
no, because you got pressure.
Yeah, but like
I feel you.
That's not an excuse though. You can't be making excuses.
True.
Track there is no such thing as being a bench warmer because everybody runs. I wasn't that good at track. I was, what's weird? People consider me fast at school, and in football, people consider me fast, and in basketball, I was considered fast, and in baseball, I was considered fast, but in track, I wasn't considered fast. But that's because you run track, you're gonna be faster than someone who doesn't run track. You feel me? Yeah, baseball, I started. Everything basically I played, I started. But to be fair, it's like,
You guys were
was when
gifted.
Baseball was when I was like in middle school and elementary school, so it's like I feel like everybody's gonna start at the youth level. Everybody gets a chance to play. I played a lot though, and even the sports I wasn't good at, like I said, basketball. I started, but actually because I'm athletic, you know. But yeah, I don't know why you out here capping for your sister.
This is a joke. It was a joke.
Yeah. So as far as the whole graduation thing goes, though, I would have preferred to have that proper.
Like the traditional send off.
Yeah, and they could have had it. I feel like, because if we're being real, I don't mean to get political or anything, you know, but COVID numbers have been the same. Like right now, they're basically the same as they were last year, and we're opened up. So they could have opened up last year. I don't know why.
I mean, they were spiking though because of Omicron.
They were, but Omicron was now, you know. But like last year, we didn't have Omicron around this time. So like, and they were the same they are now. So they could have opened up school. Other states did it. They just chose not to. Nothing you can do about it now. But there's a lot of things that were closed because of COVID. You know, people didn't have sports leagues. High schools didn't have sports. Some colleges didn't have seasons for sports. A lot of them did, but some didn't. You know, so it's like it really messed up a lot of things.
So going back to the whole graduation topic and talking about traditions per se, because you said you wanted a traditional send off.
Yeah.
Not sure if you knew this, but they did change the format of graduation. I forgot what year started the new graduations. I believe it was 2017, but don't quote me on that. Actually, no, it was when Clark started being the principal. I think that was 2018. Before, parents could speak for your graduation. It was our last culmination, or I think yours. Did someone speak for you in your
My
culmination?
sister spoke for me.
Yeah, so it was yours or the next one, Ross's,
The
was the
reason I
last
didn't
one.
have my dad or my mom speak for me because I didn't want to like have someone getting all emotional and stuff up there.
That's fair.
Yeah, because
But isn't your sister emotional?
No, she's not actually. She was real cool about it. She gave a good speech. I love my sister's speech actually. And it's not to say that I wouldn't have wanted to hear what my mom or dad would have had to say, but it's like I just wouldn't have wanted to like. I don't always like being the center of attention, even when I am the center of attention. Because like when you're up on stage, you are the center of attention.
You're the
But,
center
like,
of attention right now.
Well, isn't it your podcast?
You're the guest, though.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, but so back then at least, I mean in 12th grade I probably would not have cared. But back then, at least, I didn't want to be the center of attention, so I chose my sister because I know she would have gave and delivered a good speech, but she also wouldn't have like cried. Also, because when people cry, I cry, so I wasn't trying to have like so I wasn't trying to have like my mom start crying and then like I'm getting all teary eyed and stuff. Like I thought about it in my head, I'm like, no, I can't do that. I can't be tearing up in front of the whole. You feel me?
Yeah, I get you.
Because it's like it's an emotional moment. You feel me? But anyways, you were saying though about the whole.
Oh yeah. You just reminded me about crying because when my brother graduated high school, he chose my mom to speak for him, but we all spoke because back then they didn't care. So sometimes you would pick one person to speak for you, but 3 of them would go up and all of them would say a few words. It didn't make it long. It was like 30 seconds per person, but my mom made me say something, and I was a squeaker back then. I still had the high pitched voice. God, it was so bad.
You cried?
I was emotional. I don't know why. I think it was because my mom was emotional. But also because my brother was already like departing to the Navy. So like during that time, it was really emotional. Now I don't really now I'm a bit more okay. But yeah. So what I was gonna say is, do you like the new format, or would you have wished it was still traditional, where you can pick someone to speak for you, and if you pick that option, assuming you do, who would you have wanted to speak for you?
Okay, so I feel like they should have made it optional because there are gonna be some people who don't want someone to speak for you. You feel me? But I also feel like if it's weird if you have some people speak and then some people don't have anyone speak. So I feel like it does have to be one or the other. So never mind about what I said. It really can't be a choice. I guess they could have had people speak for you because it would have been a longer graduation. I wouldn't have minded. And then if I could have chose someone, that's tough. My go-to would be my sister Camille, but
I feel like it would have to be different.
that's what I'm saying because she already spoke for one.
Like for me, I'll just use myself as an example. My 8th grade culmination, it was my stepdad. He spoke for me. And then for graduation, I wanted it to be my brother. My brother was gonna fly to California, and like I made an oath to him that he was gonna speak for me. And we made that oath, I think, in 8th grade actually when I culminated. I told him, I'm like, I want you to come to California and come speak for me in my graduation. He was gonna make fun of me, but it would have been funny. Like, we all would have laughed about it. But unfortunately, he didn't come.
Because of COVID and all that.
Yeah, and the whole pandemic broke out. So, but who would have you had?
So that's a tough one. I wouldn't pick one of my parents, not because I wouldn't want to hear what they have to say, but because I feel like if I pick my dad, and vice versa, if I pick my mom, the other parent would feel like, so why didn't you pick me? You feel me? So I feel like if I pick one or the other, one of them is gonna feel like, well, I should have been picked, or why didn't you have me speak for you? You know. So since I already picked my sister Camille, I either would have picked my older brother Evan. I feel like Chad would have said something funny, but maybe Chad. But you never know what you're gonna get with Chad.
What about Bryce? Because didn't Chad have Bryce speak
Chad
for
had
him?
Bryce speak for me. I could have had Bryce speak for me. I could have had my friend Robert speak for me. But it's
No,
like I also
not
feel
Bryce
like-
Hall, by the way. Different
No.
Bryce. I'm just throwing that
I
out
don't
there.
think anyone thought Bryce Hall.
Probably.
So you got two viewers. Who's doing?
Ross was here. He's leaving though. He said, "Here, I have to go before Pickle Rick gets mad."
Oh. But anyway, Pickle Rick. Why does he call him that?
I don't know.
But I don't know who I would have chosen. I guess either my older brother Evan. It could have been Evan. It could have been Chad. It could have been Ross. Probably Ross. It could have been Bryce. I could have chosen. No, I feel like Ross would give a good speech. Ross is a very. He's a corny type of guy. He's like Drake. Like he Christmas sweaters, hot cocoa type shit.
Christmas
Like,
sweaters.
He would. I feel like he'd deliver a good speech. He'd deliver a good heartfelt speech. Chad would be hilarious, but I don't know if I want to be laughing. Chad would be hilarious, but it's also sometimes a hit or miss. So he'd either have the whole crowd laughing like hell,
Or it'll be a really awkward speech.
yeah, or it'd be awkward speech. That's what I'm saying. So it's like you never know what you're gonna get. With Ross, it would have been a very heartfelt speech. So probably Ross. I could have chose my older brother Evan, if we had that option. Like I said, I would not have picked my dad or my mom. I would not have wanted one or the other to feel like, why didn't you pick me?
No, your dad has me on Twitch. He's gonna watch this.
No, he
and
doesn't.
be like
He doesn't
really
have
upset.
He's not gonna care. And then we also didn't have the option to pick the anyway, so he wouldn't have cared. Now, I wouldn't have picked either of my step parents for the same reason.
You wouldn't have picked Bryce.
I might have. I don't know. He would have been a candidate.
Candidate.
I would have had a lot of my friends as candidates, but I would have narrowed it down. Like if I could have had a top three, Ross would be one of the top three.
Chad.
Well, no, I'm only gonna pick one brother for the top three.
Okay, so Ross.
Kyle Moore, since that's a god brother, so he would be a candidate for the top three.
Okay.
Third could have been Bryce, could have been you, could have been Cyrus. I don't exactly know who I would have chosen. It's one of those things where it's like it's hard to choose because you want multiple people to say something. So it's like, I guess I would have had to go with Ross. He would have been the go-to since he's my brother. But it's one of those things where you kind of want to pick multiple people. Like if you could have multiple people say a quick 30-second thing, you would, but you can't obviously. So yeah, I guess I would have picked Ross. And if not Ross, like I said, Kyle or any of the other people I listed. It's a hard choice.
I can't imagine Kyle giving a speech.
He's gonna speak. Kyle like,
I don't know why it feels like hard to see.
he's a big moment kind of guy. Like you don't think it, but he's like that.
Interesting. I didn't
Um,
know that.
Maybe Cyrus. I feel like Cyrus or Kyle would have done a good job. I don't really know. But,
Cyrus would have cried.
Yeah, probably.
Cyrus is a drama queen.
He's not a drama queen.
I'm saying. I know you watch this. I know you watch this Twitch. You're a drama queen, boy.
Nothing wrong with a man being emotional. But
That's true. That's true. Nah, you know what? Don't get offended by
nothing
that.
wrong with a man showing his emotions.
I just like clowning you because you're a clown.
What was I gonna say? I also feel like I would have had
Could you
a lot
imagine
of
he
people.
tunes in? He's like, did someone say my name?
I feel like I would have had a lot of people there because we had limited seating, but it's like from my experience at the previous graduations, they had a lot more rows for a lot of people, So like, I probably would have, and then also at the previous graduation they had it set up so it was like all the graduates sat here, in one area, like the class sat here, and then they had a bunch of rows for all the families. So it's like whereas this time it was you sat in your row with your family, so you sat in your row and you had like 4 family members with you.
In
So
your
it's like-
graduation?
Yes, everybody had designated row.
Oh, you didn't sit on like the stage?
No. So like I would have preferred to have sat like off to the side like how they had with the 2018 and 19.
Yeah, on the stage.
Yeah, they didn't sit on the stage.
Did they?
They sat like next to the stage. It was like there was a stage here, and then there was like the rows of seats for the class.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
You're
and they
right. I'm
had
thinking
the-
of other bigger schools.
Yeah, and then they had all the families watching. So like I would have preferred something like that, because then I could have had, and then if not for COVID, more people would have came. I could have had like mom, dad, stepdad, stepmom, my older brother, my older sister, Chad, Ross. That's already 9 people. maybe throw in one more family member. And then obviously, I'm sure you, Cyrus, and a bunch of other people would have pulled up. And like obviously, for the people who don't have seats, they can just stand. Like for 2018 and 19, since I didn't belong to any of the families watching. Well no, 2019 I sat where Art sat. I sat with Art's family. Nice of them to let me sit with them, by the way. Word to y'all. But I didn't really sit with them, but like basically I sat where Art sat, and then there was one point where he went with his family, but they had extra seats, so I was like on the edge of it. But like I was there for like not too long. I wasn't there for that long. But like I ended up at the end of it.
By the way, try not to say my op's name too much. I don't want to give him clout. He doesn't deserve it.
Because he works at Target, Art works at Walmart, and Walmart fired him. So
it didn't. That's a story for another day.
Yeah. So anyways, but you know,
I didn't get fired. I got released.
I would have preferred something like that too.
There's a difference.
It's like, you know, obviously then if you have people who don't have a seat, like for like friends for example, because obviously family first, they can stand up to the side and watch, which is what a lot of people did. You feel me? So it's like, it would have been cooler, but I guess you get what you get. You don't get upset. That's like a second grade quote.
It's funny. Those quotes actually go with you a long way.
They do.
Treat people the way you want to be treated. You get what you get, and you don't get upset.
Yeah.
You touch it, you take it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, bro.
I never heard you touch it, you take it.
You never heard that one? I've heard it.
Maybe I heard it, and I just don't remember. But
I remember it very vividly. It was second grade, having health fair, and this lady on the side was serving orange slices, and the teacher was warning us. She was like, "Remember, guys, you touch it, you take it. So so don't go touching around them. You grab one and just take it." And she was like passing them out, and then I got there, and she's like, "You touch it, you take it." And I got offended because I'm like, "You didn't say that to anybody else. Why are you saying it to me?" I just remember it so vividly. I don't know why.
But anyway, so yeah, I guess we got a decent. Given the circumstances, we had a pretty good graduation. And then we also had a pretty good prom. We could have had a grad night, but that's neither here nor there. Nothing we can do about it. But like you were saying earlier, if I could go back and change it, basically would have wanted to have a normal in-person second semester, and then maybe like the end of the first semester is in person. Like we go back to school at the 15th week. You feel me? Because I enjoyed that first part of COVID. That had to be inside. Like that part had to be inside. But I would have, like if I could change anything, just we come out of quarantine in November 2020 or January 2021, and we have all our sports seasons, all the events we're supposed to have, all that. Because then it's like perfectly balanced. You know, half the year was out, half the year was in, and that's how everything should be balanced. Not to quote Thanos, but or Thanos, however you want to pronounce it. Some people say both. Some people say one or the other.
Is it weird I've never heard someone say Thanos?
I hear a lot of black people say Thanos.
Really?
It's like I just started saying it. I hear a lot of people say Thanos, but it's like I don't really.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good.
Thanos, same shit.
Fair.
The purple motherfucker.
The purple. Well, then you would think Barney.
Yeah, that's true. You would think Barney. What else? You said you brought up graduation. We talked about COVID. Is there another question you got?
What's the dumbest thing you did during quarantine school?
Quarantine school.
So like your Zoom was running and you were doing something.
See, I never had my mic or my camera on. Well, actually, you know what? No.
No.
One time
I
joined class because this was in November when I was trying to get my grades up. It was the week before Thanksgiving is when I started grinding. Thanksgiving week is when I got a lot of work turned in, right? Week before Thanksgiving break for Linda's class. Her class is the first class of the day. It's 8:30. I had to be on Zoom. And so, you know, when I was in the shower at 8:30, so I joined Zoom from the shower. And she has to turn my camera on. So I turned my camera on while I was in the shower. Not on my body, just my face.
No way.
For like a few seconds so you can see I was in. And then I muted myself. And then I sent her a direct message saying like, hey, I'm not gonna lie, I was gonna be late, but I'm in the shower. And she just didn't really care. But I felt like she would, but she had to turn the camera on, so it was just me. You know, I had my dreads back then, so they were just like all wet and shit. It was funny. Funny to me at least. I don't think anybody saw it, 'cause I feel like people would have said something. But, you know, not everybody's checking to see your camera, so it's like.
I kind of did that.
Unless it's like you were in my little square, people you probably didn't see it. Let's be real, nobody probably gave it.
True.
Because it's like, you know, nobody cared because like nobody's looking at their screen there, so let's be real.
As you know, mine was when we were doing English class. I forgot to mute my microphone. I was playing GTA while the teacher was talking, and I just hear one of the fools One of your friends actually. I forgot which one. I
It
think
was Narg.
it was like someone was like, "Who's playing GTA? Who's doing Trevor's mission?" And I was like, "Oh God!" I just mute real fast. Thankfully, Jamie ignored him and we just moved forward. But that would have been so bad.
That's funny. I low-key wanted to be in that English class.
You were in AP.
Yeah, that's
right.
See, I took AP because it sounded nice, but also because Dale had me in it. So it's like he kind of put me in it. Because I did good in English. My 10th grade year, I got a B the first semester and I got an A the second semester. I think I got an A both semesters actually. So like I was in AP English. But like if I could go back, I would have taken normal English because it's like it wouldn't have changed my schedule at all. English still would have been my 5th period class. It's just
True.
So that's the thing. It wouldn't have changed my schedule at all or nothing like that.
But what did you get in AP?
I got a D the first semester and I got a C the second semester.
Let's talk about the second one. That D is technically a C. That C is technically a B.
Actually,
because you get an extra point for AP.
I didn't know that.
Advanced placement.
Okay, well that's cool for me. Then I didn't know that. But yeah, so.
I mean, you would have gotten an A if you were in
Regular. Jamie's class was easy. No shade to Jamie. He just.
Dude, I didn't do any quizzes and I got an A.
Yeah, it's just that's how his class is. It's like you don't. It's not that you can't put in no effort, but you could put in like
Minimal.
you put in a C. If you put in a C grade effort, you're gonna get a B. You put in a B grade effort, you know what I mean? It's like that's just how it is. So it's like if you grind in this class and put in A work effort, you're gonna get like 150% in this class. You feel me? It's like so. So yeah, I would have definitely took that English class. Also, more of my friends were in that class. You know, in Bill's class, I was quiet. Like obviously, I'm known for making jokes and shit. I make no jokes in Bill's class.
Oh, because he's a serious guy.
Yeah, like no jokes. I was quiet. Like there was a couple times where I'd be on the computer looking at college football scores and shit.
Oh my God.
But like, cause you know college football is fun, and Bill would see it. He'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna need you to log off for me and shit like that." But I don't know if that was quiet. But anyway, but I'm stuttering now. I'm like at a loss. Okay, back to what I was saying. But for the most part, I was pretty quiet
Don't
in
stutter.
class. Huh?
What?
I didn't hear what you said. Like I actually didn't hear you.
I said don't stutter, but go ahead.
But yeah, I wasn't loud. You know what's weird? In 11th grade, really in general, the only class I could say I really fucked around in was history with Parco. But AP English, I didn't fuck around. PE, you know, you can do whatever you want anyway, so that doesn't really count. The 2 college classes I had, obviously you gotta act like a college student, so you can't be messing around. And then the zones class, weirdly enough, I would like talk with my circle of friends, and she would always be like, "Not to be quiet while the whole class is talking." But like, it was never anything like I got kicked out of class or
That's so biased.
anything insane. She's like that though. She's one of those teachers. No hate to you, the zone either, but she was like that. Like I just be doing my work, and like you were always weenie watching and shit. Like one time I was on my calculator, and she's like, "Go put your phone in the little thing," and I showed her like it's a calculator. Like you know, I don't know if because I was black, or because she just didn't like me. But she was always like on my shit.
I had teachers that didn't like me, so I do see where you're coming from.
Yeah, so like, but I really wasn't loud in her class. I did pretty good in her class too. The first semester I got a C. Second semester I got a D actually. But that's because I didn't do any work at all from when COVID started. And remember, they weren't allowed to fail you. They can only give you a D as the lowest grade, and D is passing. So like I did no work for math. Because basically I already struggled with math, and like the only time I ever did good in math class was if I had someone help me. Like there was one time on the bus ride to one of the games, someone helped me with a quiz. It wasn't a quiz, you know. You had to like when you didn't pass a quiz in the zone class, you had to go re-answer the questions right, give it to her, and you could do a retake. That's what I had to do. So I got the help, you know.
I never had her as a teacher, but I heard of her.
Oh, lucky, very lucky. But
I don't know if I would prefer the one I had though.
oh, you had coke. Yeah, no, more unlucky.
Exactly.
But you know, I got help. Got my quiz done right, you know. We got our basketball game. We probably lost, but you know, then you know the next day I went and did my retake. I got an A on the quiz, so it's like I could do it if someone helped me. Like there were times in class too I'd ask someone for help. So if someone helped me or like walked me through it, because I wasn't that good at math. Geometry I was good at. Weirdly enough, like 8th grade math with Walter. I don't know if it was just because Walter was a teacher or just because the math classes I took with him were easier. But 8th grade math and geometry, I got B's. So it's like, but
Off topic for a second. I'm really happy we chose the podcast first because I'm hungry now.
I figured so I wouldn't have been hungry like
Exactly.
an hour ago. Yeah. So, but with Algebra 1 and Algebra 2, though, I got a C every single semester, except for the final one, second semester of 11th grade, I got a D. So it's like, I struggle with Algebra, but if I had help, I could get it done. So I could pass with a C if I had the help. So if I'm in person, and I could get help from the teacher, or if I can like try to figure it out, it's easy. But online through a camera, all that, I could not understand. I couldn't do it. Like she would post videos of her explaining how to do shit. I was totally lost. I couldn't do it. So I was like, you know what? When I found out that I couldn't get lower than a D, I was like, I'll take the D. I don't even care.
Pause.
Oh yeah.
Pause.
Yeah, pause. But you know, I was like, I'll take that grade. Don't even matter. And I thought I would make it up. I never got around to making that up.
It's all good though. I mean, hey, you graduated. That's all.
Yeah, I graduated. I don't really care now, you know.
But
looking at it in hindsight though, like I would have made it up. So like, I could have went straight to a 4-year. I didn't have the grades for UCLA, but I could have went straight to a 4-year like CSUN or something like that. I'll probably still be doing online anyways, but I'd much rather be at a 4-year than Pierce. Not to say Pierce is bad, but you know, whatever. I'm at Pierce. You know.
you just linked your college too.
Oh, I don't care. Pull up. It's like I don't really care. Will somebody gonna pull up and do what? You know, it's like.
True.
I don't care.
All right. Well, anyway, guys, that's gonna end it for today's.
Oh, that's ending it.
It's an hour.
An hour.
Want to keep going?
What time is it?
It's 2:30.
You wanna go to 2:45? What time do we start?
Started at like 1:30.
Let's flip a coin for it. I was having fun. Well, I guess we can.
Go flip a coin then.
Oh.
You good?
No, I thought this came off the chair. I thought this was like a bug or something, but it's just a little cap for the thing. Cause it was rolling. So
Oh,
it's like
okay.
It just looked weird, and I was like, oh shit. All right, pick a side. If it's the side you want, we'll end it.
Tails.
Okay, so 2008. It's a Disney coin, by the way. That's heads.
The lighting is not it.
That's tails. Oh.
No, you can't tell.
We'll
It's
get,
the
we'll
lighting.
get better lighting eventually. Should I catch it and flip it on my wrist, or should I just let it fall?
Flip it on your wrist.
Alright.
That was a nice flip.
Oh, tails. Okay, yeah. Podcast over. Bye.
No, not gonna lie though. We still have a lot of stories to talk with Matthew because we're discussing some stories he doesn't want to share. But
He wants me to tell some things that I've been sworn okay. There's been some things that have happened that are pretty funny, and I've been told by in this case my friend, he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna tell you this, but you can't be telling nobody, right?" And so.
I didn't tell you to say this, by the way.
No, I'm not gonna get into deep about it. But it's like,
Alright.
you know, it's like I can't be just telling the public his story. And he's like, well, you could just leave names out of it. But it's like, he's subscribed to your YouTube. I don't know if he watches your Twitch, but it's like anyone with a brain, you know, an average size one of these, can hear the story and be like, hey, that's my story. You feel me? And it's like, why is that being told on here? You know, and then some would say, obviously, you'd have someone like Chad who right now would make like a funnier remark and be like, well, it's not like anyone's going to watch it, you know, because we don't have a lot of viewers yet. But it's like, Chad would say something.
We're up and comers, okay? We're up and comers.
Yeah,
but yeah, we might feature Matthew in a part 2, if anything.
Might. Oh, okay. I see how
We'll feature Matthew in a part 2 as the time goes by. But that's it for season 2, episode 1 of The Theorists. This is a new podcast. I'm going to try to keep it consistent. Ross, we'll see you on the next episode. Anything you want to add?
Ross in the next episode?
Yeah.
Boo. I'm joking. But,
Also, Matthew will actually not just be featured as a guest in another episode. He's actually going to be featured as a co-host. Reason for that being, we're bleeding into time, but whatever. Reason why I want to have Matthew as a co-host is because the reason why this podcast is called The Theorists is because The Theorist was an idea we came up with when we were just, 15 years old?
no, before that, he was in 7th grade, I was in 6th grade, because, you know, he's had his YouTube channel for a long time. And, on the bus rides home, if you didn't know, me, him, Chad, Ross, and a couple other people from our school, we rode the same bus. And, there were times where it was like we was in 6th or 7th grade, we were in middle school, when something would happen, we'd be like, theory, and we'd make up some BS, right? And it would never make sense half the time either, but it was funny. And it's just something we started doing. And then he was like, if I ever do a YouTube, if I make maybe, Adam Sutter. He's like, maybe we should make a YouTube channel called The Theorists. But he ended up deciding let's do a podcast, which is probably smarter anyway. Because having a YouTube channel that's very one-dimensional isn't as good as having a YouTube channel that's multi-dimensional and then having a podcast as part of it.
And the original idea for the Theorists was going to be like a newsstand where we were going to share stupid theories that were just going to sound ignorant.
Yeah, exactly. But it's one of those things that, like, in middle school it never happened, but that's for multiple reasons. We didn't necessarily live close, so it's not like it would have been very consistent. On top of that, he would come over when we were at our dad's house, and that was every other weekend. And on top of that, we would have had to figure out a setup. It's something we could have done, but it was hard to do it with the time we had. Like, let's say, maybe, I don't know, let's say you got a car your junior year or something like that. Maybe it could have happened then, but it just didn't really happen because of the circumstances. Now it's different. I live a lot closer to him. He has a car, so it's like...
It's a lot easier.
It's not like he's 14 and like Chad or Cyrus, everybody else is 14 or 13, and it's like you can't really always do what you want to do.
Exactly.
So that's how this started. That's how the title is. I mean, we're not necessarily making up stupid theories on this podcast. He just named it the Theorists Podcast. Like, why not?
Exactly. We have to continue. We can't just let the Theorist idea die out.
Yeah.
But with that being said, it was something that me and Matthew came up with, so that's why Matthew's going to be featured as a co-host in this new season.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time for the next episode of The Theorists. Theory of the day. The first fast food chain to go out of business is going to be Burger King. I'm calling it.
Very random. Burger King hate. Bye.